Welcome, everyone. I am so glad to have you. So, we are going to get started. We have no time to waste. What I'm about to share with you is one of the most meaningful trainings that I can share because it gives you options. So, welcome everyone. I am Lori. It is so great to have you here. And so, let's actually talk about step one when it comes to having a coaching program. Step one is specificity. And so, this is the critical focus that is needed to create a program that people want to buy. Because at the end of the day, you want people coming to you already saying, how can you help me? Right? You want people coming to you. You want the DMs, you want the emails where they're like, I saw you on Instagram. I saw you on a Facebook Live. I heard you on a podcast. Like, how can you, like, I have this problem. Can you help me? Right? You want people coming to you excited and hopeful that you can help them. And so the only way to achieve that is to be specific, in what you do. And so my job is to take you from being a yellow duck, same, generic, general, glossed over yellow duck to becoming a stand out from the crowd purple duck. And so the only way to do that, the only way to stand out from the crowd so that when people are scrolling, when people are Googling, when people are listening, when people are talking, they are attracted to you, is to become a purple duck and have an area of specialization that you focus on. So this goes one level deeper than a niche, right? A niche is sort of a broad category like weight loss or hormones, right? And so we want to have an area of specialization for a particular type of person so that when you become a purple duck, you speak the language of the purple ducks. And then when you speak purple duck language, the purple ducks know that you are talking to them and they migrate into your duck pond. So here's what happens when you stay a generic, general yellow duck. You talk about one thing one day, and then you switch topics and you talk about something the next day. And then you switch again and you talk about something a different day. And then the following day after that, you're switching topics again because you need to educate and you're a health coach. So your job is to educate. And you're talking about all of these random things to try and just get someone to pay attention to you. And so now you have this duck pond, which is your audience, right? You have this duck pond. And because one day you're talking about seasonal allergies, you now have crows in the duck pond. And then the next day, you're talking about painful periods. So you now have pelicans. And then the day after that, you're talking about inflammation. And then the day after that, you're talking about green living. And then the day after that, you're talking about something else because your job is to educate people. And this is what you're interested in. And so you think other people are. And so now you're attracting all the birds. So now instead of having a duck pond filled with purple ducks, who have the singular specific problem that you solve, you have stayed general, and now you have a duck pond filled with pelicans and geese and cardinals and crows and pigeons and blackbirds and blue jays and all the birds. You have a mishmash of birds in your duck pond so that when you, as a purple duck, go and put out your program offer that was made for purple ducks, the crows and the pelicans and the cardinals and the blue jays and the robins are looking at you and they're like, what are you even talking about? That doesn't resonate with me. I don't have that problem. I don't need to work with you. And they leave. And then you make no sales. And then you can't get clients. And then you're sitting there wondering, I guess it doesn't work. I guess all this work was for nothing. I guess all that time that I spent posting on social media was for nothing. I guess all that time that I spent creating my program was for nothing. No, it's just that you didn't start with being hyper specific and becoming a purple duck. Does that make sense as to why it's critical that you start being hyper specific to a certain type of person who has a certain type of problem? So for me, when I was creating my signature coaching program, it was called Wow Weight Loss, which is generic, but I worked with menopausal women, purple duck, right? Menopausal women who just wanted to lose weight without giving up wine, chocolate, or popcorn. Did other people come to me who were not menopausal women? Yes. Did I work with them? Yes. But I never talked to them. They just resonated with the content. So if a man came to me, which happened, and said, can I enroll in Wow Weight Loss? I would say, sure. But you're going to be in a room filled with women. And then that's where the problem began. So I was like, I'll see you one-to-one, but using Wow Weight Loss. So I'm not recreating the wheel. And this way I was able to sort of see other people who still had that same problem, but keep the integrity of the program. Does that make sense? So the way that I worked with clients was through Wow Weight Loss. So I would not take on a client who had seasonal allergies. I'm not taking on a client who has PCOS. I'm not taking on a client who had painful periods unless they also wanted to lose weight. That's what I did. I helped menopausal women who just wanted to lose weight without giving up wine, chocolate, or popcorn lose weight. And if other people resonated with that, that's amazing. But that was my area of specialization. And so I want you to think about this in a sentence. I specialize in working with people who have. And so I want you to think about what is the major complaint that you can solve. So if we think about having a coaching program and we think about having an audience of people, you want them all having the same, you want, first of all, the audience to be the same. And then you want the people who are in your audience to have the exact same problem. So maybe it's painful periods. Maybe it's sugar cravings. Maybe it's joint pain. What are they complaining about? So I specialize in working with people who have painful periods. I specialize in working with people who have dementia. I specialize in working with people who have IBS. So pick something that you would want to specialize in, or maybe you already do. So you can just tell me painful periods. You can tell me dementia. You can tell me inflammation, weight loss. So you can tell me in the chat who you specialize in working with. So Chelsea saying, I work with people with mental health issues. Yeah, you might want to narrow it down to one specific type of mental health issue, because someone who has anxiety experiences the world differently than someone who has depression. So the experience, although similar, is not the same. So those are two different purple ducks. So you might be able to, so the niche is mental health, but you specialize in people who have anxiety. I specialize in people who have catastrophic thinking. I specialize in people who have intrusive thoughts, right? Narrow it down. High cholesterol. Yes. Yes. High cholesterol, Paula. Yes. I specialize in working with people who have high cholesterol. So your purple duck is someone who has high cholesterol. So good. Sherry says high blood pressure or high blood sugar who want to reduce need for medication. Yep. So I would pick one. I'd pick blood sugar. I wouldn't pick high blood pressure. I'd pick blood sugar. It's just, it's a more persistent, painful problem. So you work with people who have high blood sugar, who are desperate to reduce or get off their medication. Absolutely, like clear purple duck. And now you can think about all the questions they have, and you can think about all the things that they need to know and all the things that they need to do in order to reduce their blood sugar, stabilize blood sugar so that they can reduce or get off their medication. Yeah, Paul is saying women over 50 with no energy. Yes, I work with women over 50 who are dead tired. That's what you do, right? So they have no energy. I work with women over 50 who are dead tired and have no energy. Amazing. Carrie saying women who are who lost direct family member to relax mind and body enough to sleep again. Yep. So I would say, Carrie, I specialize in working with people who are in the grieving stage after losing a loved one. That's very clear, right? Very, very clear. Doesn't matter if it was yesterday that they lost a loved one. Doesn't matter if it was a year ago. It doesn't matter. They are in the grieving stage of losing a loved one. Emma, I specialize in working with parents whose children have SEND. I don't know what that is. You have provided new information for me. Can you tell me what that is? I can't Google it at the moment. I love learning new things. I am here for it. Beth, pain after eating. Yes. Yep. Marita, women of color experiencing the effects of systemic racism, stress, anxiety, etc. Yes. I would narrow it down to women of color experiencing the systemic effects of racism in the workplace, whatever it is that are causing stress, anxiety. Like I would get a little bit more narrow. Aaron, I work with children who have communication disorders and delays. Yep. So, Aaron, this one's for you. I specialize in working with parents who have children with communication disorders or delays. Yep, absolutely. Jenny says loved ones who don't know how to help their loved ones suffering from addiction or substance abuse disorder. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Emma, thank you. Special educational needs or disabilities. Yep, got it. Mindy, menopausal women who just want to lose weight. Yep. Amazing. I want to target BCBAs. I don't know what that is. BCBAs. I don't know what that is. With burnout. Yep. Emma, busy mamas who want a natural alternative to hormonal birth control. Yes. Yeah. New homeowners who don't know where to start concept design and design development. So where to start with what? Like renovations? So what are they starting with? Because I'm not certain. I specialize in working with adult caregivers who support a divergent child with communication disorders delays. So is it parents or not parents? Because for me, when I read that, I think not parents. So maybe it's the people who like are hired to work with the kid. Kala, I work with women during pregnancy and postpartum who want holistic care from home. Okay. So this is also really interesting. So during pregnancy and postpartum are not the same. So your program could be broken into two, right? Part 1 and part 2, right? Pregnancy and postpartum, but the experiences of pregnancy are not the same as postpartum. So I would say pick one to start with. It probably is pregnancy, because then you can create a secondary program or split your program into two for the people who are in postpartum. Pelvic floor therapy, breastfeeding, nutrition, mental wellness. Yeah. We provide ABA therapy to kids with autism. Yeah. Renovation. Okay. So then that's what you say. I work with home buyers who are struggling with first-time renovations. Super clear. I work with women helping them to have great skin at any age. I use my nutrition breakdown with aesthetics and holistic services such as facial reflexology. Yeah, that's great. Helping peeps with gut issues. So what kind of gut issues? I would list the gut issue. So I specialize in working with people who have chronic constipation. Very clear, right? So these are all really, really great. And so you're going to see Sherry saying, I'm interested in working with people with metabolic syndrome. Would the purple duck recognize themselves better if I use words like people with high blood sugar? Yes. Most people don't know the term metabolic syndrome. So you can say, I specialize in working with people who are pre-diabetic, diabetic, and likely also have high blood pressure and high cholesterol, right? So you can, because it's the cluster, right? And then they're diagnosed with metabolic syndrome. And so you can list sort of the 3 out of the 5. And then that way it's super clear. Think about it this way, y'all. When somebody's scrolling social media, when somebody's Googling, this is all how we find things now, right? And so, when somebody's listening to a podcast, when somebody's reading an ebook, when somebody is consuming content, we have about 3 seconds. We have about 3 to 5 seconds. And so we want to be as crystal clear from the outset as we possibly can so that they can raise their hand and go, I'm a purple duck. I need to follow you. I need to be in your duck pond, right? And so the more specific you can get to them being able to self-identify as being a purple duck, the easier it's going to be for you to have an audience and get clients. Type yes in the chat if that makes sense. Are there actually enough patients to fill just one thing that's specific? 100% Sandy, and I don't even know what you do. 100%. Sadly, there is. Like, sadly, right? So now that we have clarity on that, this is the problem that your program solves. So a lot of professionals will say to me, I don't know what my program topic should be about. And I will, how do you want to help people? And so we just did that exercise. And so what you put in the chat is what your program is about, so that you can build up a duck pond filled with people who have that specific painful problem, even if your program also addresses other symptoms. That's okay. And you will talk about other symptoms, but we're going to always lead with the persistent painful problem. And so I want you to think about that and hold that in your mind to say, okay, I specialize. I'm just going to go back. I specialize in working with women who have trauma-induced chronic health issues. So I would pick, so this is for Amy, pick what health issues. So I work with women who suffer from catastrophic thinking and intrusive thoughts and anxiety due to trauma, right? Who want to heal without going on medication. Be super specific so that they can know that it's for you. And then your program really walks them through how to heal their trauma so that they can get rid of the catastrophic thinking and the intrusive thoughts and the anxiety, right? And then they get the desired outcome that they want, a life free from catastrophic thinking and intrusive thoughts and anxiety. And so we're not even targeting trauma, for example, right? They're coming to you because they have catastrophic thinking and intrusive thoughts and anxiety. They don't know why. They don't know why they have it, right? No therapist has been able to help them. And it's because they didn't deal with the trauma, which is what makes you different and makes you stand out like a purple duck, right? You're welcome, Jamie. And so why this works is because this is how people use the internet. This is how people search for you. This is how people will find you. They will find you based on the headline. They will find you based on talking to a friend and is like, I can't get rid of these catastrophic thoughts. And they're like, oh my gosh, I just saw somebody on Instagram yesterday who had a whole post about what catastrophic thinking is. Let me see if I can find her for you. This is how we conduct business in 2024. And so whether you have a clinic, whether you're online, full-time, online, part-time, you just want to have an online coaching program, this is how people will find you, because this is how we all conduct our lives now, right? I'm from back in the day where there used to be like a Yellow Pages, and there used to be trade shows, and there used to be all of that. This is now how we do things. And so when you are a practitioner or a coach and you are online, you are using social media, you are using technology to really leverage and get in front of the people that you most want to help. This is what it looks like. So for example, Kelsey, it says founder of the fertility confidence method, right? What do you think she does? Very clearly, right? She's a naturopathic doctor and her program is the fertility confidence method. Then we all have over here the motherhood. So preconception, pregnancy, and postpartum, right? This is a pharmacist, root cause pharmacist, helping women naturally reset their metabolism, right? High performance mentor for ambitious women, women's hormone stress and metabolism. Super clear, right? Naturopathic doctor for the last 10 years with a specialty interest in hormones, PCOS, metabolism, and fertility. Super, super clear. They're not just advertising the fact that they're a naturopathic doctor. They're not just advertising the fact that they're a pharmacist. They're not just advertising the fact that they're a health coach, because nobody wants to work with you and buy you as a health coach. What they want is they want you as a health coach to take their pain away. That's what they want. And so this is what happens when you specialize, right? This is what happens. This is Erica, and she is a naturopathic doctor. And she says, I went from not knowing about being online to building a program, enrolling 7 people in it, working with my ideal client privately as well, to much better targeted social media presence, to knowing how I want to run my business. And then a couple months later, she had a baby. This is a naturopathic doctor. Traditionally, naturopathic doctors only get paid for FaceTime. And she says, I think you'll be very excited to know that September was my highest revenue month so far, which was also the month my baby was born. That's life changing. As a professional, as a naturopathic doctor, she was only ever able to be compensated for when her presence was in front of patients. There is no mat leave when you're self-employed. And she created a business that was outside of herself, where she could enroll people into it, even when she wasn't actively working. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Have a fabulous day, everybody.